I would think it's easier today as a woman to break into comedy.
For me, it was really easy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, it's been a long journey,
Yeah.
and it was like me sleeping on the floor and being broke and crying. It's not easy in the sense, but like
every comic goes through that.
yeah, it's like the same grind that people have for any dream that they have. It's not anything special I'm doing. I've just found my talent and then I worked.
Right.
And I think everyone has their own weird thing. I told my sister, I'm like, if you like fucking gluing seashells to your face, you better get on YouTube and be the funniest seashell gluer and just
better
do
than
that.
anybody else.
Yes, yeah. I'm
You
like,
got no excuse anymore.
You had a hard time though. You always talk about it in the early '80s when you started as a woman. Like
it must have been different.
There weren't really many women doing it. It was you and what, Paula Poundstone, basically.
No, Paula came way later.
Oh, she did. Who was doing it when you started?
Well, I started in 1980.
Betty Boop.
She and Betty Boop. Well, there already had been Joan Rivers, Phyllis Diller. You know, there've been so many, and of course, the greatest Mae West.
Yeah,
she busted everybody.
But they did stand up, but the stand up era most people think is like the 80s.
You know, oh my God, I'm going to forget everybody's name that I should remember. Elaine Boozler. There was just a lot of good. Lily Tomlin. There's a lot, you know. Carol Burnett. I just can't remember everybody great that I was one of.
So maybe it wasn't that hard.
But Marlo Thomas.
But was it hard? I'm asking. Like, did you have a hard time breaking in, or?
How did you start?
Yeah.
How'd you even start? What was the?
Oh.
She's a younger comic. Give her some.
Well. Yeah, it was holy hells on earth.
It was?
It was fucking hells on earth. But I was young and pissed.
Yeah.
You know, I was pissed because it was right there coming not too far out of the 60s where I still had marched and my friends, and I mean, we fought and we still believed, and we saw the whole Vietnam thing, and we still believed. And then, you know, Reagan, and it's like, what the? And then the social safety net gets cut, and we just lived through all of it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you start?
So in 1980, when they put Reagan, I was pretty left.
Yeah.
And I was like going, oh, Christ, this is a real slide to real
hurt people. Like, put
not
people on
a
the
good
street.
thing. So I was like, fucking, I got to get out there. And I didn't want to. It was crazy. I don't even know where it starts. Who wants to hear any of this shit?
I do.
Everybody.
I'm very curious.
Okay, I was at the
understand,
time
Kim.
I was in this woman's group, you know. It was a
The
cult.
lesbians.
With the
again.
lesbians, yeah.
Well, before it was all lesbian.
Okay.
When it was just basically kind of Jewish and black, and, you know, it was just moms of mixed moms, you know.
You already had kids when you started stand-up?
Yeah.
Wow.
She had 3.
4.
Well,
What? Are you serious?
yeah, I was born in
Yeah.
78. She started in 1980. I was 2.
That is
She was really a
crazy.
housewife when she was doing that. Like that, my dad worked at the post office. She was an actual housewife that would go Saturday night or Friday night and do stand-up. My dad would,
How long were you doing stand-up before you got the
night,
show?
That was
the show. Well, it was 4 years till she got the Tonight Show, I believe.
No,
You tell
I'll
it.
tell the whole thing. I
Thank you.
started stand-up in 1980,
Okay.
and then I started doing gigs around the place. And then, like,
Kind of HBO
85,
special.
I came to California. And 86, I got on TV.
6 years. Okay.
And then 88, I got my show. So
Wow.
it was 8 years total
Wow.
Yeah.
from Jump Street to 8, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of it was overnight because once I came to LA, it was like I was on stage and the Tonight Show guy saw me, put me on. I was on with Julio Iglesias, who took me out for 18 weeks to open for him. That got me my sitcom. It was like
really?
one after the other. It was a God thing, God-given blessing thing.
You really have to be like equal parts talented and lucky.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you can adjust your luck and kind of make it favor you by like the places you are and the situations you put yourself in. But I've noticed a lot of my breaks, I've been like, I was just here this night. I was just here. But if I didn't show up, it wouldn't happen. So that is part of the hard work. But just to be my very first night of stand-up, I popped into the belly room and Tony I just started this show called Kill Tony. It was 3 episodes in, I think. And then I became a regular on that show. And I'm like, if I didn't have the weird feeling to go upstairs that I'd never been up there before. And I
Your
was
first
like,
stand-up was
now.
on Kill Tony?
My very first night of stand-up, I got pulled for potluck at the Comedy Store in the OR. And I was so hype. I had a great set. It was 3 minutes. I got like 2 laughs. And I was like, this is the best. That was the best. And then someone said, there's another show upstairs if you want to go watch. And it was Kill Tony. And and then Tony was like, you can actually sign up for it and go up again. So the very first night I did stand-up, I went up twice at the Comedy Store. It was awesome.
I'll tell you that story. I went to the Comedy Store because everybody came to Denver that we had a club there, the Comedy Shop or Works. And they said, you got to go to the Comedy Store in LA and let Mitzi Shore see you, you know. So okay, it was Monday night, amateur night. Everybody told me go. Sam Kennison, Louis Anderson, Alan Steven, everybody who came through Denver, they knew I was coming and they would show up for me, you know, and they came to see me audition for Mitzi. And I knew they were there and it was cool, my friends, you know.
It's crazy to think that this was before flyers or computers. Like people were just calling like, Roseanne's coming into town.
Yeah, it was before.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it was all word of mouth, you know, comics to comics. And
wow.
And
yeah,
I
no
knew
website,
it was,
just
you
the
know,
sign outside the
just the
Comedy Store.
lights in the air.
And all the comics were there then. Everybody was outside. They all came in. And I knew it. And I went up and I knew what it's beyond anything you can ever explain to anybody, but I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew, like Blair White said, because I knew I was it. Mm-hmm. I knew I had it. I knew I would be it. And I knew I am it. And it was all there. Every single thing I worked for. And every fucking joke killed. Every fucking joke. All 5 minutes of it was gold, and I had worked so hard and picked them 5 fucking minutes so tight and went through so much to do it. Rewriting all night, all the shit, you know. And then she goes, go do 20 in the big room. And I go, oh, Christ, I was speechless. And all the waitresses go, she's never did that before, ever took anybody from audition to the main stage. And
that's pretty incredible.
I was going, fuck. I go, I don't even know if I have 20 clean. I was like, I don't even know if I have 20 fucking clean minutes. I'm gonna have to bullshit my way through 4 minutes because that's all the filth that I don't want her to see. Because when I get into my butt fucking jokes and shit, I can't do that.
You have to hide the butt fuck jokes, by the way.
On the first 20.
Not on the first date with Mitzi.
You gotta work in the butt
save the butt fucks for the third set.
And then I came off the stage and she goes, I'm opening a place in Vegas and you have work.
Oh, you see